Okay, so hello everyone. Today we are continuing with using arrays to create a course tag manager. So you are seeing that you are given two classes here incomplete. The tester is complete, but the course tag manager is incomplete, and your role is to complete it. So every time you will have to check what this is requesting you to do. So the course tag manager class is designed to manage courses and their corresponding days of the week. It allows users to add a course, generate unique tags for each course, and display the course tags. And you are going to be doing that using methods and display methods. So the first thing you are requested to do here is to complete this constructor, because here step 2 has been created for you, where the course array is being created, but now you want to initialize it. So we just did this in the previous videos. So it's a string, it's an array that will collect strings. So it will have size. So you check in the tester, the initial size we are given the object for the course manager is 4. So the array will have size 4. And we also want to initialize course count to 0. So it will keep counting the courses. And then in the second method, you are asked to now create a method that will add the class. So this method is a void method, and it will add class with parameters, code, and day of the week. So when you look at the test that was already created for you, when you call that method, it passes the values of two strings. The first string is the course code, and the second string is the day, which is why this method has these two parameters. So we want to complete this method, and we are adding an array, elements to the array. Using each time we call this method, it will add elements of the data into the array. But one thing we need to see is, usually we are used to using for loops when, let's say, you are getting from user input, or maybe when you are shifting array elements, because at that point you are actually collecting multiple sets of data. But with this one, you are just, every time you are calling this add method, it's one, you are adding this data one step at a time. So that is why you just essentially need to use the if statement and nothing much. And actually, the if statement, again, you use it just to check if the array still has space to add. And but essentially, it's just one line of code to add elements into an array, which will follow. But yeah, so the if statement here is just to check if we still have spaces. So the course count should not be more than the length of the array. And then we now add elements of the we now add the data into the array. So we want to essentially add, the format is, we have to have CS46A and Tuesday with a space in between them. So CS46A is gonna be passed here, plus the space, plus days of the week, day of the week. So this is the simple step of adding those two strings into the array. And this is called courses, not course, sorry. Now the second thing, we want to increment the course count, because each time we run this add method here, when the first line is run, count is will increment from 0 to 1, and then it will keep incrementing 1 to 2, 2 to 3. So each time it increments, that means each index is incrementing. Then it allows you to keep adding on subsequent indexes. So now this method here, after adding this, our courses now will essentially have these data. And now on the generate tags, we are essentially being asked to convert the CS46A Tuesday into CS46A all small letters underscore TU, getting only the first two letters of the second word or string. But then we need to put all that into a new array. So we need to create a new array called, this is where the instruction is. We are creating a new array called tags. So we start off creating it and not putting anything in it, and we are asked that it has to be the same length as the number of courses. So the number of courses are traceable with this variable course count. So whatever value it is, that's the number of courses. So so our array list is tags, and what we're supposed to do next is I think the best thing, there are many ways of doing this problem, but for me I would say, okay, maybe let me create string that will hold the course this array, the courses array elements. So I'll call it course elements or whatever the name, and then it will be taken from courses and using the iterable, the I variable. Wait, I should have created the for loop. I'm just realized I just said I, and I'm realized I didn't create the for loop. So in this instance we are creating the for loop because we are putting in, iterating over an array and putting in multiple elements until we finish putting them. So again, we create a traditional for loop here, and then we increment. Okay, so yeah, now we so now, yes, I was saying the course elements is the string that will keep on getting. I0 will be CS46A Tuesday. So it will be put into this course element. So what do I want to do with it? Will look something like this. The string course elements will look something like this. So now I take it, now moving forward, I'm just manipulating strings. And if you remember the first name, last name problem we once solved, you start off by looking for the space, because this is essentially what is in course elements at index 0. So what we want the space, the location of the space. So we use the index of method. So we take this string, copy it, and then use the index of space. So we want the space. And then after we find the space, we want now to extract CS46A and put it in a variable. So we can call it course name or course code, whatever you want to call it. So here, how do you extract the first letter? You use the substring method, and then you start at 0. 0 is C, and go and stop at the index where the index of spaces. So it will get everything before the index. So you stop at the space index. And then after this, you want to create, you can create another and call it day, another string variable called day. And what do you want to do? You can, I'm just copying the substring because we are repeating it, but this time around we want to get space plus 1, because space is here. If you say just one, do plus 1, it will get the T. So it's gonna be space plus 1, and it has to end at space plus 3, because this is 1, 2, 3 at E, excluding E. So it's going to be space plus 3. And then now we know we have the course name, we have the day, and we want to add them into the tags array, this array that we created. So our tags array, again, it will start at iterable 0. index 0, and then it will add the course name. Actually, we can also do to lowercase for both of them already, because they have to be lowercase. And then we can add the course name. It has to be the course name underscore and then we add the underscore, and then we add the day. Yeah, and then we now look, it says missing return statement. It returns an array, so we get off the for loop and then we return tags. So when you run this method, it will return an array tags with this format. Now the tags, so how do you print them out? So you use the usual for loop, but before we print them out, dot print line, we can just say courses are, this is just showing us what we're about to print out, and then we can use the traditional for loop for int I equals to 0, I less than course count, and then I plus plus, and so then we print system dot out dot print line. We can do the I plus 1. This is just for displaying element 1, element 2, and then in between we can do the dot. That's the format we were asked to do, and then we can now print the tags, sorry, the courses array. So that's the print method for the course. Sorry, I forgot to, this is yeah, so I put that thing. I can quickly copy this code because this is also a display code, but here I can say the tags are, and here I'm supposed to access this tags array, but I can't access it because it belongs to that method. So I can recreate it and maybe call it tags gen, so you can see it's a different array. And then I can call this method. So when I call this method, it's essentially returning the array elements into that, and then I can print them out, text gen, and here it can be the length of this. Yeah, so that's essentially it, the solving this problem. Let's see if it gives us the output we want. Yeah, so this is what you were asked to do, and I hope it makes sense. Let me know if you have any questions, and thank you.